Hey, it's Darren Lee. Leonard Williams.
This is Justin Burris.
Jason McDougal here.
Joe Middleton. Aaron Roberts.
You're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV. You're watching NYJFTV.
You're watching NYJFTV.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.
McGuire in the backfield. McCown locates his tight end. Safarian Jenkins battling for the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Into the end zone, results in a touchdown. It'll be a winner's ball. First down.
You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind. Can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind. Can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind. Can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back.
Here I go again, with a grin, I might bag, win, tin, emergency, run, down, 911, the H to the E to the A to the B to the Y, wants a honey bun, yes I am, the big belly man, hot damn, here I am, with a mic in my hand, abracadabra, took my favorite fabric, had fun, she was done reading Moby Dick, me and my crew played a game called Flipper, when we come around, you better tighten up your zipper,
Third and goal. McCown will throw it. The floater is caught. Touchdown. Then he dropped. Back to the ground game. Gillisley slicing. Oh, he loses the football. McCown floats it upstairs. Caught. Jeremy Curley is gone. Touchdown. Brady, clean pocket. Brady, deep ball. Double coverage. Intercepted.
You can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind. Can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind. Can't see what I can see. You're blind, babe. You're blind from the back. You're blind.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of NYJFTV. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Sirkin, here with Fireman Ed, and we'll have Rob Carpenter joining us in just a minute, and we have so much to talk about. We're going to get all into Jets Dolphins later in the show, but first we got to talk about Jets Pats. Obviously, there was a lot of positives to take away from that game. They came out fast. They jumped out to that 14-0 lead. You know, the crowd was getting into it. We had all the momentum on our side. Then Screen drops the interception. The refs pick up some flags. We get the bogus call on Adams. Pretty much everything went, for the Patriots' way. They come out in the second half a little flat. You give them some credit for how they bounced back in the fourth quarter. It's just such a shame that this game was decided by the refs. How on earth they overturned the call on the field is still beyond me. I've seen every single angle. Not one call had conclusive evidence to overturn what was on the field. Ed, did you see any different?
No, I didn't see anything different. He obviously was in. He's on a pylon. I don't know how they decide to call him a runner. First off, a runner, if he hits the pylon with the ball, it's a touchdown. So I mean, how many times through the years have we seen that? Anyway, you know what? I'm not going to keep getting into that because that to me like sour grapes. We should have, could have, would have. You know what? There was plenty of other opportunities. I just watched the game again. I just watched it. Just 20 minutes ago. All right. Listen, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. I said, go back on the tape. Go back on some of the shows. You'll see. I said it's going to come back to haunt us. And especially against the Patriots. The Patriots, you have to keep the drive alive. You got to keep Tommy Boy off the field. He's got to be off the field. This guy makes plays. He scored within 40 seconds. 30 seconds, whatever it was. I mean, listen, old school football he's the one thing about John Morton. He discovered this kid, Lawrence Thomas. He's a good fullback. He blocks. He's good. He's very good. Use him. We got to continue to drive, man. And then that sequence I talked to you just before we came on. That sequence in the end of the second half, end of the first half, twice, back-to-back, 3 and outs, we had 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, and we didn't run the ball.
And 2nd and 1.
No, we did run the ball, but we didn't have a fullback. I mean, it's old school football. Come on. Listen, the bottom line is in this league, I'm telling you right now, you don't stop the run and you don't run, you ain't winning. It's a passing league now, but if we're going to go eventually to where we want to be in January, you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball, and you got to get those short yardage distances. Let's move on. I get aggravated. I get too
how much of that though do you attribute to not having Bilal Powell? Because you look at Forte, he's still dancing around in the backfield. McGuire's got some speed, but it seemed like they were stacking the box a little bit. Powell's that one guy who can kind of lower the shoulder and get those short yardages. I feel like he was just if they had him in this game, that would have been huge.
I think McGuire is a bigger guy than Powell. I think McGuire is bigger than him. McGuire should be able to get that. McGuire should be able to get it.
Yards after the catch every year, he's always up at the top when he's healthy.
Well, listen, I agree, but McGuire is very capable. It's your formations. I'm telling you, look back on the tape. You're going to see they go into 4 receiver sets, sometimes 5 receiver sets. If they're in a 4 receiver set or a 3 receiver set, they got 1 single back in the backfield. Okay? Listen, you could have 2 receivers out on the outside, and you could still have your fullback and your running back with the quarterback. That's 5 guys. You got 6 on the line. You got 5, and you got a tight end. You still have that formation. There's nothing wrong with it. Listen, John Morton's doing a phenomenal job with all his formations. If you look, I'm glad I went back and looked at that. He's got so many different formations he comes out on. I mean, we got 5 receiver sets, 4 receiver sets, 3 receiver sets, double tight ends. You got the fullback in the backfield, a stacked backfield. You have a single back. The guy is doing a tremendous job. By the way, I said it last week or the week before. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, you better sign him now. Now. Right now. Sign him. Don't wait. Get his agent and sign him. Sign him. What he did in that game alone was unbelievable. He kept drives alive by himself. I mean, it's so refreshing to have a tight end. It's so refreshing. And the kid wants to be here. We gave him the second chance. Sign him, McCagnon. Sign him now. Right now. Sign him.
And you got to give him a ton of credit, too, for the way he handled, the call after the game. It would have been very easy to place all the blame on the refs. All the players, they took after their coach. They gave the company line. We're on to Miami, and I'm glad because there's still plenty of season left. So,
well, that's why I don't want to get in this show and start whining about I got Patriot fans watching this show. I know they are. I know they watch it. Okay, and I'm telling you, we ain't whining because we beat you up. We beat you. We didn't beat you like I want to beat you. There's ways to beat you, but we're gonna beat you up because our running game's gonna get better. It's not gonna get worse. It's gonna get better. All right. And we got wide receivers. We got tight ends. These wide receivers, Curly, Robbie Anderson is coming into his own now. Second year. He's starting to really make plays. They all are. You get Stewart in there a little more. He's learning from these guys. He's got some work to do, but he's learning. Listen, ASJ is there. He's a stud. Okay. We got a base here right now with this team. We have a base. You cannot say we don't. We have a base right now. And let this McCowan play because the other 2 guys have showed nothing. They showed nothing in the preseason. Listen, you want to build this team. With building this team, they're getting the nucleus. We'll get the quarterback. The quarterback will come. This is what we need to do. Telling you right now.
Switching gears to the defensive side of the ball before we get into Miami. Obviously, the headlines all week have been about the pass rush. I think it was like 0 for 602, the defensive line without a sack. Wilkerson doesn't have a quarterback hit all year. Leo, you try to blame it on the hands. He has the wrist injury. Hand fighting is his game. I get that. But Wilkerson, you look at the film. The film doesn't lie. It's hard to question his effort at this point. Are you seeing the same thing when you watched it the second time? Did we lose you?
I can hear you now.
All right, now we're good.
All right. And I agree with you. With Mo Wilkerson he's robbing the tip. Listen, first off, if he's hurt, and he does look like he's hurt because he's got no push. I just watched it. He's got no push. None. 0. He's got no push. If he's got no push, listen, number 97, Ed Stenson, Get him in there. Mike Pennell, number 98. Get him in there. Listen, they said to Bowles is doing a company line. They're playing good. Listen, Williams is getting double and triple teamed. There's no doubt about it. He's getting double and triple teamed, and I think he's hurt a little bit. But Mo Wilkerson's got to be out. They should cut him. Cut him. I'm telling you, he's killing us, destroying us. I mean, I think the defense is playing well. I think Mo Claiborne got torched towards the end of the first half. Brandon Cooks was
perfect throw, though. Perfect throw.
No, but Brandon Cooks was eating him up. It wasn't just them. He was eating him up. Okay, he eating him up 2, 3, 4 times. All right.
The one thing with Mo, though, that drives me absolutely insane. I don't know if you heard the quote today where he's like, hey, the coaches said I'm playing all right. It's like, no shit, dude. You look at Jamal Adams, 22 years old. This kid's already taken accountability. When he doesn't play well, he owns it. He owns it every single time.
He played well. Jamal Adams played well. Those kids played well. Listen, Gronkowski had a couple of catches. There was a couple of bad calls. That was one bad call. That call on the 1-yard line was a disgrace. Gronkowski should have been called for interference. He had his hands in his face. Hands in his face. He was pushing him. That's bullshit. Let me tell you something. We got 2 studs. Listen, we're going to be just fine. And Buster Screen is playing phenomenal. Okay? Buster Screen's playing good. Darryl Roberts is playing excellent. Listen, Demario Davis, I even thought Lee played well. Overall, I thought Lee played very well. He's starting to play well. I got to give that kid some props because he's got a motor and he's trying.
Gets knocked down, gets up, comes back around the end, punches it out. I mean, those are the kind of effort plays that you want to see from the defense that you're not getting from Mo at all.
You're not. And Mo, Coney played great. Coney had 2 deflections. He got to Brady. He got to Brady a couple of times. He just missed him. Just missed killing him. The thing that I'm most concerned about on this team is we're getting run on. And I'm telling you, Miami will expose us. We said that the last time we played them, and we shut them down. I'm telling you, Miami will expose us. That run game, they are slicing and dicing us. They just are. When they're getting runs, 8, 9, 12, 14 yards, 6, 9, 11, 10. There must have been, New England must have had, I'm going to say 12 runs of minimum 6 or 7 yards. 12 of them or better. 6 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 11 yards. Go back, you'll see. That cannot continue to happen. That will be our downfall. I'll tell you right now. What we are doing is we're getting them to turn the ball over. Something we didn't do in the past the last couple of years. That defense is, why? What you just said. They're flying around. When you fly around like they are, like most of these kids are, things are going to happen because you're always into the play. Even when you get beat, you're still coming back and you're still trying to make plays, punching the ball out, doing different things. Very exciting. Very exciting. The disappointment is that number 96. He's killing us. He's destroying us. It makes me nuts. I wouldn't go to his charity event Monday. No way was I going to that event. Jay asked me to go. No way.
Dude, I said the same thing, man. We all know what Mo is in the community. I'm not going to take that away from him, but football is a different story. And right now, you're not getting it from him. You're just not. It's plain and simple. So with that, let's get into Miami because I'm very anxious to put this game in the past and hopefully get to 4-3. You look at the injury report this week, very encouraging news. Everybody was a full participant, including Bilal Powell today. The only guy except Mo Wilkerson, who we're not going to miss. You look at the Dolphins side, Devontae Parker, Mike Pouncey, they haven't practiced. So, we were able to shut down Ajayi the first time around. You said it before. Can they do it again the second time?
Well, before I get started on Miami, one more thing. I just want to say that the Jets showed that they can play. We have a nice, decent team here, guys. We're not there, but we have a nice, decent team, and I'm very proud of them. When I looked at that film just now, I like what I seen. That team you should be proud. As a Jet fan, you should be proud of that team. Well, of course, we didn't win the game. Well, there's no moral victories. All I'm saying is that we weren't expected to do anything. Okay, so that was good. Anyway, on to Miami. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to running the ball, stopping a run again. It is. It's going to be this is a division rival. They know one another. Miami's got a chip on their shoulder. They're 3-2. They just won a couple of games in a row. Okay. They're dying to play us. The Jets have to match that intensity. You got to match the intensity with Miami. And I'm telling you what Adam Gase said after that game, the last game. I remember him coming on a podium and he threw the Gatorade bottle against the wall. And he says, we just got beaten up. We got our asses kicked. Well, what do you think he's saying now? They beat our ass. They bullied you guys. You guys got to beat them up. Listen, the Jets got to match that intensity. The one thing we don't have to worry about is their home field crowd because they got none. They got no home field crowd. They're a joke. That franchise is a joke. We have more fans there than they have. Okay? They have more fans up here in New York than they have in Miami. It's amazing. Well, when they come here, they have more people than they have down there. All right? So let's beat them and sweep them. Let's sweep them right now. All right? Our defense is I'm telling you, put Ed Stenson and Mike Pennell in that game on Sunday. Get this Mo Wilkerson out of here. I actually think the defense will play really well if we put other tackles in there. I really believe that. Okay? So, we can't turn the ball over. If we don't turn the ball over on Sunday in Miami, we're going to win the game. Remember what I told you. If we play a clean game against Miami, we win the game. We win the game. They can't beat us. We're better than they are. We're better than they are right now. And they were supposed to be a playoff team. So I'm just telling you, we're a better team than they are right now.
Well, I agree that we're a better team, but you listen throughout the week, the players are saying all the right things. But do you worry about a potential carryover from a loss like that heading into this week?
Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. Yes. I told you before they played New England, I thought they were looking for New England when they played Cleveland. They played comatose. I think they played their worst game in Cleveland. It was one of the worst games. Well, other than the second half of Oakland. It was one of the worst performances. Now, this is where you see, I'm telling you, with a young team, you got that. I like his mentality. Move on to Miami. All right? I like what they're saying. McClendon, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to beat Miami. I agree. Sweep Miami. Sweep them. All right? We're going to have the crowd down there. Go down there and show that. First off, get to Jay Cutler. If you get to Jay Cutler, you win. You win the game. Listen, you got to stop the run. The same game plan that they formulated in the first game is the same exact formula. Stop the run and make Jay Cutler beat you. Make him beat you. I don't believe he can. So prove me wrong. All right?
So at this time, we're going to open it up for some questions, and we have quite a few already. The first one comes from Charles Butler. What happened to the ground and pound? And, I'll say this, heading into the Patriot game, I think we all wanted the ground and pound. We felt like we could bully them around, but the passing game was open all day. We saw Robbie blow the top off the defense. McCown just didn't see him. And even with that, he threw for 350 yards. So it was really hard to question what Morton was doing there.
I didn't have a problem with listen, you throw the ball, you give what the defense is giving you. They're going 7, 8 in the box. You've seen it. I'm looking at the line of scrimmage. They were 7, 8 in the box. I get that. All right. But it's still the 3rd and 1s that were the difference in the game. I opened the show with it. I'm telling you, you got to go and play old school football. I'm not saying every single time a 3rd and 1, but you can still go with the fullback. What they did with the fullback, the last 3rd and 1, they threw the ball. You have options. It's a play action. I get it. It's old school. Football comes down to running the ball. I'm telling you, every team, the Patriots are underrated for running the ball. They run the ball well. They just do. They run the ball well. They do everything well, most of it. That's why they're the 5-time world champions. It's not just Brady.
I agree. All right, so continuing with the questions, we've got our good friend Steve Tranny. He wants to know, Ed, how you feel heading into this game on Sunday. What's your level of confidence?
I like us in Miami. If the Jets come and play, if they come and show up and they don't do what they did with Cleveland and play a ridiculous game, you know, they weren't ready to play that game. They come to play, we'll beat Miami. We'll beat Miami. But first off, the Jet crowd will be there. The Jet crowd is going to show up big time, especially now that they're starting to see, at first we were like, oh, we had 3 games that were, we beat those teams. When we were down, when we went up 14-0 in New England, all of us were like, wait a minute, hold on. We got something here. Because these weren't lucky plays. We had 2 drives. We had drives. We had 6-7-minute drives. Okay. We sustained drives, they were. All right. We were blowing them off the ball, period. Okay. So the Jets have a better team and we have a bright future. Let's go down and beat Miami, because if we beat Miami, I think we take the wind out of their sails. I just do. I think that's going to demoralize them. I don't think we'll be demoralized if we lose, but I think they will, because remember, they were coming in this year to be a playoff team. They were a playoff team last year. They're coming in to be a playoff team. They were looking for the division this year. Okay? They ain't winning no division if we sweep them and take 2. That's out, because they ain't sweeping the Patriots. So,
all right, continuing on, we have Brian Dolan. This is interesting. He thinks that Darren Lee still needs to go to the outside. I'm not sure where that's coming from. We keep seeing the progress every week from him on the inside. He's showing you the speed. He's getting better against the run. I think we still want to see him improve a little bit more in coverage, but I think that's only going to come with time and, recognition of the patterns and everything.
Well, Todd Bowles believes that he's a middle linebacker. He's an inside linebacker. So the thing I will say about Darren Lee, and I think we'll all agree, is that he's going to eventually put some more weight on and more strength. Remember, he came into the league. He was 20 years old. He's 20 years old. I think he's 22, or he's going to be 23. He's either 22 or 23. Okay, he's 23. He's got still body to, build into. So listen, I like the way Darren Lee is starting to play. He's got the one thing I will give that kid, he's got some motor. He doesn't quit. He doesn't take time off. And there's something to be said for that. I've got on him, no doubt about it. But I also, when I see energy levels and when I see that will to win and want to win, I'll take those guys any day. Any day. Mo Wilkerson, no will to win.
Man. And Brian Dolan actually commented on that again. Mo got his money, and now he's making business decisions. That's exactly what it looks like.
Joke.
Alex Varello up next. He thinks that we should try to trade Mo for Martavis Bryant. I know he's on the block, but I don't see any reason why the Steelers would want to do that. I think at this point, if you could get anything for Mo, third, fourth, whatever it is, you would take it. I just don't think
getting anything from Mo Wilkerson. You're not getting anything from Mo Wilkerson. So that's a mirage. That's no way. Listen, it's $18 million, number one. If the team takes him, it's $18 million. Who's taking him? Are you out of your mind? I mean, this is a no-brainer. What's going to happen unless he turns it around? All right, which I'd love to see, because I was one of his biggest supporters. I loved Mo. I wanted us to sign Mo. I can't sit here and tell you I wanted him to sign him over Snacks, over Sheldon Richardson. Snacks was a 2-down player. Mo was a 3-down player. Sheldon's a 3-down player. He was the best of all of them, but he's a head case. He's a screwball. So I thought Mo would be the guy. Who knew that he was going to pull over, what's his face, from Washington that was with Tennessee that robbed them.
Hainsworth.
Wadsworth?
Yep. Hainsworth. Albert Hainsworth.
Hainsworth. Hey, he's just like him. Reminds me of him. I just watched the film. I can't believe what I was watching. I know they got to be. I know they have to be. They got to be looking at that and going, wait a minute, hold on. All right, if he can't make a push, then don't have him on the field. If he's that hurt, his toe, his shoulder, don't have him on the field. We
Exactly.
need a guy that wants to play. Ed Stinson, I'm sure he wants to play. He's a young kid. He's dying to get in there. Let's see what he can do. Get Deion Simon off the goddamn practice squad and put him in there.
Next up, we have Mark Polillo, who wants to know if you think Josh McCown has played better than most quarterbacks in the league so far this year.
Well, hold your horses. I think Josh has played a very sound game, and I actually think he's playing well. Now, I think he's playing above average, but I wouldn't put him up there with, the elites or even in the top 10. I mean, come on, let's not get crazy. But, I think he's playing well. I mean, the one bad thing was that he threw that interception at the end of the half. That was it. That was a killer.
You got to put that on Robbie, too. I mean,
you know what? Robbie's got to help out, but he's second and 12. You got 40-something seconds left. You're on the 40-something yard line in New England. You got to be a little more conservative. You got a 14-7 lead. I mean, let's think about what we're talking about here. All right? I mean, I don't think you'd be throwing it down. The out pass in football is one of the hardest passes in football. It's one of the hardest passes because these cornerbacks are so fast, they jump the routes. That's the one place that gets intercepted quite a bit because you got to be able to zip that. That's why Brady's the GOAT. He's number one. He throws that out like nobody throws it across his body. Whoa! Ain't nobody getting that. Okay? Either they're getting it or nobody gets it. So, that was bad. But Josh is playing very well. I give him it. And more than anything, he's molding this team. He's getting all the other pieces together. They're becoming a team. Okay? That's why I wouldn't put the young guy in. See what happens. Now, there's always room to put these young guys in. We get up to week 10, 11, 12. We see what our record is. Maybe then you start putting these young guys in. But right now, you're in the thick of it. The guy's playing well. There's no way. How could you talk to the locker room like Robbie always says? How do you explain that to the locker room that you're going to put the young guys in? We're not going to go to a world championship. They don't want to hear that. They still believe they can make the playoffs. They talked about the playoffs this week. So that whole thing is out the window. We got to revisit that in another 6 weeks. 6 more weeks. Let's revisit it. Not right now.
All right, so that's going to do it for us tonight. Ed, awesome show. We apologize for not being able to get Rob on. We had some technical difficulties there. Make sure you guys download the Shindig app if you want to be a part of the show. Just go on Shindig, download the app. We can bring you on live, ask a question, or if you just want to rant about some awful officiating, you can do that as well. Also, check out SeatGeek.com. Use our promo code NYJF. You'll save $20 on all your ticket purchases. All right, we'll talk to you guys again next Monday, hopefully after a Jets win.
Support the Jets. Support the Jets.
Go Jets.
They're playing.